would say we get into a relationship for comfort, understanding, support, acknowledgement, sympathy, empathy, recognition, and I always like to say a shoulder to cry on. How important is trust when people are coming together to keep them together? Is it important?
Yeah.
All right. Is trust always important in a relationship?
Yeah.
All right. If trust is always important in a relationship, then let's take it to another level. And that is to understand, what does addiction do to trust? What does alcoholism do to trust? It crushes it. What I want you to know about regaining trust, it takes over a year. And a lot of you are going to want people to trust you right away, because not being trusted doesn't feel real good. It can create a sense of shame, certainly a sense of guilt, definite regret. Because when you talk embarrassment, that's what you said, right? I like that word. Yeah, not being trusted is embarrassing. You know, when you go up to someone and say, hey, you know, you can really trust me. Yeah, right. That's a little bit embarrassing. You're right. Absolutely. It takes a year to put that back. And later on, I'll talk about exactly how you put trust back. But it takes a year. A lot of people think, no, it should be right there. No. And I'm going to show you where trust went, how it got broken, what we can do about it. Now, I don't have a pen, but maybe you've done it with a pen, maybe you've done it with a piece of metal, maybe you've done it with a piece of plastic. But if you ever take something that is nice and straight and particular and you bend it back and forth, what eventually happens to it? It breaks in two. If you've done a lot of this stuff, I don't know why you would, I have, and I don't know why I did, but I understand this principle. I'm always surprised when it breaks. In other words, it's going to break on the next one and you get about 10 more, and then you think you got 10 more and it breaks. You never know when it's going to break. I want you to think about that piece of plastic or metal that you're bending back and forth as your relationship. Is it possible it may be pushed to the point of being bent back and forth, which has a lot to do with hope, that if you bend it one more time, it's going to break in two? And that means it's over with, it's hopeless, it means change the locks on the door, it means don't call me, lose my number, Jack, I'm done with you. Okay? Now, as a clinician, I know the importance of family and friends and significant others in recovery, and the most important people in your life are the people you care about and care about you. Does that make sense? Yes. Would it also make sense that addiction targets the healthful, most powerful healing forces in your life and destroys them so it can get on with the business of killing you? Because that's what addiction's final goal is, to take your life. First, it's going to make you live a life you wish you didn't have a life, and finally it will take that life you wish you didn't have. All right, so do you understand that when you build somebody's hope up, you build them up emotionally? When you say, hey, I'm not going to use anymore, hey, you know, I've learned, maybe I've been in treatment before, and because I'm in treatment, people feel really good about me. And I start to build myself up, and I believe in you, and I think we're going to get the family back, you know, and we're just going to have a much better thing. And the next thing I know, you don't come home tonight. You see how that would bend me back down? And then depending on who I am, I might want to believe in you again. You give me the promises, you give me the apologies, you give me the commitment that you're going to make the changes in your life, and then it builds me back up, just like that piece of metal. How many times can you bend it back and forth, back and forth? How many times can you go and relapse, go and relapse? How many times can you go and promise you're not going to say something hurtful? Anything that builds people up, and then you take it back. Do you understand the stresses that puts on a relationship? My whole purpose of doing this lecture is to alert everyone in this room. I do not want you to put one more bend stress in that relationship, because that might be your lifeline. And if you cut it, you may reduce your chances or eliminate your chances of a successful recovery, because I believe everyone in this room has somebody very important in their life, right? I believe extremely important in your life. So what you don't want to do, and I'm going to show you how not to do it as we continue, is you don't want to bend that anymore. That person at home is hoping this will work. They're hoping you'll change. They're hoping you'll stay away from those people. They're hoping upon hope, and that's why they're on your side. They don't trust you at all. Forget about trust. But they absolutely have tremendous amount of hope. If they're answering their phone, they haven't moved and didn't leave you a forwarding address, there's a tremendous amount of hope to protect. And that's what I want you to do. Learn how to protect their hope. Because if you don't, and you snap them, you're going to lose one of the most vital, necessary things you need for your survival, which is that significant other relationship. Does that make sense? Okay.